This week's assignment was again rather challenging as we were not provided with an Excel document to work off of, but rather had to create one from scratch. And for the assignment this week, we had to research a company. So I chose to research Apple and their historical stock prices, as that was the example listed in the question. And what I did was selected the past 6 months, which was the time frame we wanted, selected done, and applied that. So it gave me an updated historical stock data for Apple, which I downloaded, and it brought me into an Excel document with all of the data. It had information from the dates throughout the past 6 months, so I was able to highlight the columns that I found irrelevant, delete that information so that I just had the first date of each of the month. So by highlighting this information here, I was able to sort the data, which was something new that I learned. And I selected custom sort, continue with the current selection, sort, and that allowed me to sort the information by date, values, and oldest to newest. So I selected OK. My dates were all in order. And then I was able to insert a chart. So by going to charts up here, I selected other, and we had volume, open, high, low, close, which came up right over here. However, for this particular assignment, we wanted to move that to a new sheet. So by going to move chart, I was able to select new sheet, rename the title there, and it opened up into a new sheet, so stock chart. So as you can see, I was able to insert a title by going to chart layout. I selected chart title, put a title above the chart for Apple stock chart, and I had my information on both sides. However, the numbers on my primary vertical axis were extremely long. So what I did there was by going to axes and my primary vertical, I was able to put that in millions. So the numbers were not as long and overwhelming to look at to the reader. So that came up as millions, and I was able to edit it by inserting volume in millions. For my secondary axis, I was able to, again, insert a title by going to secondary vertical axis title. I selected a rotated title and entered stock prices. What I wanted to do here was change the currency so that it had decimal places, another new feature that I learned. So I wanted to format the axis over here. We went to number, and I selected currency. I wanted 2 decimal places, which I selected, and hit OK. So that changed that over here as well. The final tool that I learned how to use for this assignment was how to insert a text box. And I went to Insert Picture, and I had to choose a shape. By selecting the rectangle, I was then able to insert text over it to better explain. There were a ton of really wonderful features that I had never been familiar with that I learned how to use with this week's assignment.